Hello, and welcome back. Today we have Playing Through My PlayStation 1 Collection, number 5, Tekken 3. Tekken 3 is a fighting game originally released for arcades in 1997, and later ported to the PlayStation 1 in 1998. Developed and published by Namco, Tekken 3 follows the previous two entries as a basic one-on-one fighter with the goal to deplete your opponent's health before your own. Once again, there is no substantial in-game story, but the game manual does provide the needed background details, which I will read from. One day, 15 years after the King of the Iron Fist Tournament 2, a letter was sent to Heihachi Mishima, the leader of the Mishima financial empire. The report brought the ominous news that his Tekken Force had been obliterated after encountering a mysterious being called Ogre. Soon after receiving this news, martial arts masters from around the world began disappearing. In the midst of Heihachi's concerns about the missing fighters and Ogre, a young man appeared before him. His name was Jin Kazama. He claimed to be the son of Kazuya Mishima, whom Heihachi himself had taken to the grave during the last tournament. In a more startling revelation, Jin said that his mother Jun Kazama had been attacked by Ogre and vanished. All of these events convinced Heihachi that Ogre thrived on the powerful souls of the vanquished masters. He also believed that harnessing Ogre's powers could bring immense strength to the Mishima Empire. And thus, Heihachi taught the art of Mishima-style fighting karate to young Jin. Jin's discipline and abilities were strengthened like steel under the intense training, driven by the desire for revenge upon the beast that took his mother's life. 4 years have passed, and Heihachi acknowledges Jin's impressive fighting prowess, and he announces the King of the Iron Fist Tournament 3, with Jin as a lure to draw Ogre out into the open. From the start, Tekken 3 has several different game modes to choose from, and arcade mode is the closest to a story mode. Prior to selecting a game type, the player can enter the options menu and alter a wide variety of features such as difficulty, number of rounds, guard damage, and the timer. In arcade mode, the player selects a character from one of the 10 various starting fighters. Since so much time has passed from the previous game, only 6 are returning fighters to accompany 17 new ones. Some are simply alternate skins, such as Kuma 2 and Panda, but I will count them separately. The battles take place across 15 different stages, and the same basic controls return from the previous game. The 4 main buttons represent a different limb, and each can control either the left or right arm and left or right leg. Each fighter has an individual moveset that can be looked through while pausing the game. However, not all possibilities are listed, as many must be discovered on your own. Some returning combat techniques are throws, 10-hit combos, running, jumping, crouching, and blocking to name a few. New to Tekken 3 is the ability to sidestep, escape attacks such as throws, reversal, and charge up. More prevalent this time were powerful one-hit KO attacks that require a large buildup of time but hit with intense force. Tekken 3 also saw some tweaks to the physics, as characters can recover faster, jump lower, but also juggle enemies easier. These created a more intense, fast-paced combat style that was more responsive and fun. Arcade mode features 8 matches against randomly determined opponents, followed by a match against former champion Heihachi in round 9. However, Heihachi's plan works, as Ogre takes the bait and emerges as the final boss. As expected, this isn't even his final form, and he absorbs Heihachi's fighting force to take on a new, more powerful form, True Ogre. Taking out True Ogre completes arcade mode, and each character has a unique ending video that plays. This time, Jin's ending is considered canon, with Heihachi turning on his grandson after Ogre is defeated. This doesn't go as planned, and Jin is spared as the devil gene inside him awakens, transforming him and flying away. should be noted here that only Jin's video ending is considered canon, as the original winner of the King of the Iron Fist Tournament 3 was actually Paul Phoenix, who went on to defeat Ogre. Or, that is what Paul thought, as he didn't see Ogre transform and leaves the tournament. But, when Ogre absorbed Heihachi's power, the tournament continued, and Jin was declared the winner when taking out True Ogre. In contrast to Tekken 1 and 2, there are no unique sub-bosses or character unlocks for completing arcade mode. Rather, character unlocks are more straightforward and only require completing arcade mode with a certain number of unique fighters. To unlock all arcade mode fighters, simply complete it with everyone. For each of the 10 starting fighters, the game manual provides some background details and fun facts to round out the story. These include things such as age, physical traits, blood type, and hobbies, which for Jin are walks in the forest. Unfortunately, the unlockable characters don't have information in the manual, but I did look up their bios on the Tekken 3 wiki, which quoted the official strategy guide for some added details. Jin Kazama. Jin is Kazuya Mishima and Jun Kazama's son. He received intense training under his grandfather, Heihachi Mishima, all in an effort to avenge the loss of his mother by fighting and defeating Ogre. This tournament is his chance to test his strength and to face his destiny.
You win. You win. Fight.
Ling Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu is a 16-year-old who loves amusement park rides. Entering the tournament is her first step in having the perfect amusement park built in China. She likes Chinese steamed buns, shrimp dumplings, and Peking duck, but dislikes math teachers.
You win. Final round. Fight.
Hwarang. Hwarang entered the tournament after Ogre attacked his mentor, Bayek, whom Hwarang respects greatly. He wants to redeem himself by taking revenge against Ogre and defeating Jin Kazama. Hwarang failed to defeat Jin in a previous fight. He likes rock music and arguing, but dislikes Mishima-style karate and Jin Kazama.
Final round. Fight. You win.
Eddie Gordo. Son of a wealthy industrialist in Brazil, Eddie seeks revenge against the organization that took his father's life and unjustly put him in prison. Eddie joined the tournament with the intention of taking over the Mishima financial empire so that he can use its resources against the organization. Eddie likes power and dislikes weakness.
You win.
Forrest Law. Forrest is Martial Law's proud son. Paul dragged him into the tournament, but now he feels that this is an ideal opportunity to prove his strength to his father and to himself. His hobbies are shopping and likes credit cards. He paid for Paul's tournament fee and gas, but dislikes riding passenger on motorcycles as he is scared of Paul's driving.
Final round. Fight.
Paul Phoenix. Paul Phoenix is a fighter who is admired by young kids worldwide. He let victory escape him in the last tournament, but has since renewed his training with vigor. He won't let victory slip away this time. Even at the age of 46, Paul has no weak spots. He likes pizza and the smell of gasoline, but dislikes freeways in Japan as he got stuck in a traffic jam during the last tournament.
You win. You win. You win.
Li Wulong. Li is a shrewd detective responsible for solving many international crimes. Li entered the tournament to investigate the cause behind the disappearing martial arts masters. Li has a drunken master fighting style. He likes electronics, but dislikes crime and criminals.
Final round. Fight!
King 2. King is a young man who was raised in the original King's orphanage. After being savagely attacked by Ogre, his mentor's dying wish was for King to take over the orphanage. He now fights as a pro wrestler to support the orphanage. He likes celebrating victory with Armor King, but dislikes the tears of children.
You win. You win.
Nina Williams. After failing to assassinate Kazuya Mishima in the last tournament, she was forced to become a test subject for cryogenic research. Reawakened by Ogre's powers, she is determined to eliminate Jin Kazama. Unfortunately, she doesn't have her memories and appears to be manipulated by Ogre. She doesn't remember her dislikes, maybe Anna.
You win. You win.
Yoshimitsu. Yoshimitsu is the leader of the Manji clan, a notorious gang of Robin Hood-like space thieves. He entered the tournament upon learning that his friend, Dr. Boskanovich, needs ogre's blood to live. Yoshimitsu now fights to save the life of the man who once saved him. He likes video game arcades and dislikes sore losers in gaming.
You win. Final round. Fight. You win. Final round. Fight.
Anna Williams. As much as they quarreled, Anna would miss her sleeping sister. Even worse was the fact that she would continue to age while Nina was frozen in time. Anna went to Dr. Boskanovich and requested to be put into cryosleep, asking to be awakened at the same time as her sister. Sensing Ogre's evil presence, both Nina and Anna awake 19 years later. Anna awoke without any side effects, but Nina had somehow lost all of her memories of Anna, which saddened Anna because she was making an effort to continue their sibling rivalry. Now, rather than fighting Nina, Anna felt that she needs to help Nina and prevent her from again becoming an assassin. Heihachi Mishima. Scheming to further develop the Mishima financial empire, Heihachi organized Tekken Force, the empire's private corps, and dispatched them to settle disputes and bring wasteland under cultivation to feed the poor countries of the world, in order to gain the support of leaders worldwide. 15 years later, a secret excavation of Central American ruins by the Tekken forces unearths an unusual find. They were annihilated by a mysterious being. Heihachi realized that this mysterious being could be the legendary Ogre, and took action to realize his life's goals, to capture Ogre and therefore rule the world. One day, Heihachi was visited by a 15-year-old boy named Jin Kazama. Being informed that Jin was his grandson, and hearing what had happened to his mother June, Heihachi reasoned that Ogre thrives on the strong souls of others. Heihachi trained Jin to use him as a decoy to lure Ogre. In Jin's 19th year, Heihachi declared to the world that the third King of the Iron Fist tournament was forthcoming. At the same time, he noticed that Jin, the youngest of Mishima bloodline, began to show the same dangerous power Kazuya had. Heihachi decided to dispose of Jin after he lures Ogre in order to end the doomed destiny of the Mishima financial empire.
You win.
Brian Fury. An officer in the International Police Organization was killed in a shootout in Hong Kong. Brian's corpse was transported to the lab of a man named Dr. Abel. This 88-year-old scientist was fairly famous in the underground society, but his findings were often preceded by Dr. Bogdanovich. However, at last he came to the last step of completing his master project, the Cyborg Army. Dr. Abel thought that a perfect cyborg must have the mechanics built by his rival, Dr. Bogdanovich, so he reanimated Fury's body and sent him off to collect this data. In his former life, Brian was known as a skillful detective, but on the other side, he was always followed by dark rumors. Investigating the Hong Kong drug trade, Li Wulong discovered that Fury had connections with drug dealers. Brian sneaks into the King of the Iron Fist tournament, targeting Yoshimitsu, who has strong ties with Bogdanovich. Gunjack. When Jane, now a physicist, was 8 years old, she was rescued from a bacteriological war by the Russian military robot Jack 2. However, Jack 2 was later destroyed by a satellite weapon, as Jane, still a young girl, watched in horror. Jane, now 27, could not forget the nightmare of having Jack 2 collapse beside her. She spent 10 years restoring Jack 2 to 90% functionality, but it seemed to have lost the humane characteristics that set it apart from Jack 1. Jane worked hard analyzing the program in order to return Jack 2 to the gentle soul which had saved her life. Through detailed analysis, she found that most of Jack 2's programming was created by Mishima Heavy Industry, one of the subsidiaries of the Mishima financial empire. Moreover, she discovered a hidden program, Project Gunjack. It laid the groundwork for a new project, a pivot gun. In order to restore Jack 2 completely, Jane had to approach Mishima Financial Empire and solve the mystery of the project. She quickly installed the hidden program and brought the newly dubbed Gunjack to the Mishima Financial Empire.
Final round. Fight.
Julia Chang. As a baby, Julia was deserted in the ruins of an ancient Native American settlement, where Michelle found her. Michelle rescued Julia and brought her up with love. Julia loved Michelle and her adopted tribe and trained with Michelle to protect the beloved homeland. When Julia was 18, stories of sudden disappearances of famous martial artists all over the world began to reach the tribe. The tribe knew the cause, which was contained in the tribal legends, the legend of Ancient Ogre. People in the tribe feared that Michelle's pendant, the key to a Native American secret treasure, had something to do with the disappearances. With apprehension spreading through the tribe, Michelle left for Japan to ask Heihachi why he had sought to take the pendant during the second tournament. Michelle hoped to learn about the origin of Ogre's power, but she never returned. Julia suspected Heihachi and now seeks him out to discover the truth.
Fight. You win.
Michelle? Mother!
You have conquered Ogre. Now the key to control Ogre is this pendant. It was all Heihachi's evil plot.
I'll never let Heihachi get away with this.
No, Julia, wait. Julia, hatred is not the answer. Do you remember why I taught you the powers to fight? It was to protect Mother Earth, not to destroy. Now let's go home, back to Arizona, where the land awaits us.
Kuma 2. The first Kuma died of old age during its travels with Heihachi. Its child, also named Kuma, became Heihachi's second pet. This Kuma is smarter than its father and a good bodyguard for Heihachi. One day, when it was absorbed in watching TV, it suddenly went wild at the sight of a martial artist with a scarlet goji, Paul Phoenix. Kuma has trained since that day to defeat Paul in battle. It doesn't think anything of Ogre, only of defeating Paul.
Fight. Perfect. You win.
Panda, protector of Li Xiaoyu. She is cared for at Xiaoyu's high school. To participate in the tournament, Xiaoyu moved to the Mishima Industrial College in Japan. Heihachi Mishima taught Panda advanced bear fighting so that she could act as a bodyguard for Xiaoyu during the tournament. Although Kuma is fond of Panda, she dislikes him and keeps her distance. Panda is just an alternate costume when picking Kuma during character selection. Mokujin. Mokujin is a training dummy made from a 2,000-year-old oak tree. Mokujin has been kept in a museum for a long time, but when Ogre awoke, it gained self-identity and started to act on its own. Some people say it's motivated by the desire to help martial artists, but only Ogre and Mokujin know for sure. Mokujin does not have a unique moveset, but rather randomly takes on the moveset of another character.
You win. You win. You win. Mokujin wins.
Tiger Jackson. Tiger doesn't have any official story in the Tekken 3 strategy guide, but he enjoys disco music. He has an alternate costume for Eddie Gordo during character selection and is unlocked when completing arcade mode with every available fighter.
Fight. You win. KO. You win.
Ogre and True Ogre, the god of fighting. The legend of Native Americans says that Ogre is the war weapon, which creatures from outer space left on Earth in ancient times. It understands entire structures of all living and artificial beings and absorbs them. True Ogre is the more powerful form and a completely separate fighter from Ogre, but they have the same ending.
You win. You win. You win.
Gon. Gon is a cameo character from the manga of the same name, and is unlocked by defeating him in Tekken Ball mode, or by getting a high score in survival mode and entering the initials GON.
You win. You win. You win.
Dr. Bogdanovich. Dr. Bogdanovich was a leading scientist of the former USSR. At the age of 12, he designed a new type of ballistic missile and instantly became famous in the scientific world. After losing his only daughter, Elisa, Bogdanovich has been doing research on human resurrections. Through these experiments, he became active in cloning and the creation of androids such as Jack. With no sense of good or evil, he works only to somehow revive Elisa. Now, Bogdanovich is infected with a mysterious disease. In order to cure himself and to revive his daughter, he needs the blood of the fighting god Ogre. Dr. Bogdanovich is unlocked from completing Tekken Force mode 4 times.
You win.
In addition to arcade mode, Tekken 3 offers 5 returning and 2 new game types. Returning are Time Attack, which is a time trial to complete arcade mode as fast as possible with preset parameters, such as difficulty and number of rounds, but unlimited continues. Survival, which pits the player against a never-ending gauntlet of opponents to win as many fights in a row without losing. Health carries over and will slightly recover between fights. Team Battle, which is an elimination type of fight in which all fighters on a team must be defeated for victory. Health carries over between fights, and once defeated, the next teammate steps in. Practice mode, which allows for the fine-tuning of difficult techniques and combos against a motionless opponent. There are multiple settings and on-screen stats to fully learn and master a fighter's style. And of course, Versus mode, which is the typical 2-player 1v1 battle. This once again is a blast to play with friends or family, and offers balancing to keep things fair across different skill levels. Just like in arcade mode, each fighter has 2 costumes to choose from for a personal touch.
Win. Final round. Fight. Perfect. Yoshimitsu wins. Gordo wins. Jack wins. Panda wins.
The 2 new game types are Tekken Ball and Tekken Force, with each having an unlockable character associated with it. These were Gon and Dr. Boscanovich, which were exclusive to the console version and not available on arcade. Tekken Ball is a volleyball-like game in which the player must hit the ball at their opponent while not allowing it to touch the ground in their zone. There are several different ball options, and hitting it enough times will charge it up to deal extra damage to the opposing player. The unlockable character here is Gon. To unlock him, you must defeat him in a game of Tekken Ball. The easiest way to do this is to select King as your character, as Gon will always appear as the first opponent, so you only need to win once. Defeat him, and he'll then be available to play in arcade mode. The other new game type is Tekken Force. Tekken Force is a side-scrolling beat-em-up-like mode in which the player must fight through waves of enemies before confronting a powerful foe at the end. There are a total of 4 stages, and health can be found along the way.
Chicken.
Health does reset at the beginning of each stage, but there are no continues or lives, so once you die, it's back to the start. There are some generic enemy fighters that are unique to Tekken Force. To unlock Dr. Boscanovich, Tekken Force must be completed 4 times. This sounds pretty straightforward and easy, but for me, it definitely was not. Tekken Force was a great idea, and a cool change of pace for some added gameplay, but it was not smooth, and was very clunky at times. Rather than controlling like typical beat-em-ups, such as Streets of Rage, the movement was consistent with the Tekken 3 fights, requiring annoying sidestep and dodging mechanics just to move in 3D space. This was most infuriating when trying to quickly grab health, as it was easy to get defeated while your character failed to get the item right next to them. The lock onto enemies was automatic, and would hinder movement as sidestepping really only circled an opponent and made it very hard to reach items. It would also randomly swap to a different enemy, even when completely off screen, which would ruin the flow of combat. If the characters simply moved freely, this would have been 1,000 times better and a really awesome game type. But as it is, the movement is incredibly frustrating and holds it back. Otherwise, the fighting itself wasn't too bad, although the enemies were extremely cheap, and loved to stay off screen and charge in with a running knee out of nowhere, or strike when your back was turned and you couldn't block. While arcade mode has unlimited continues without punishment, there were strangely no continues, or even lives here, which seemed unnecessary. I could understand no continues, but to have no lives was overkill. And, to make matters worse, there's also a time limit. Defeating enemies will extend the clock, but it is yet another hindrance. At the end of each stage is a regular opponent from the fighter list, with Heihachi as the final boss of the 4th stage. Each victory will reward a key, and on the 4th run, Dr. Boscanovich himself will emerge as the final challenge. Although I was able to complete all 4 stages, I had trouble with the final boss, as Dr. Boscanovich was a unique character with extremely quirky movements and was very difficult to hit. I kept making it to him over and over and losing, so I had to phone a friend to help in unlocking him. Be sure to check out her channel with the link in the description, as well as her full Tekken Force playthroughs, completing runs with King, Yoshimitsu, and Eddie.
Oh, you didn't die off screen that time. That time you were a little braver. Stop, you're making me look like I'm the dream. Eddie! We did it! Breakdancing Heihachi to the corner.
Chicken.
heart monitor this. Oh my god. Yes! Oh my god, he made a comeback. Oh my god, saved him!
Overall, Tekken 3 was a wonderful improvement from the previous two games, and the perfect final installment for the original PlayStation. Arcade mode offered hours of non-stop action, and although the difficulty was toned down compared to the previous games, it was still decently challenging. The returning and new game modes offered more options than ever, and were fun to play solo or with a group of friends. Considered one of the best fighting games of all time, Tekken 3 is as popular as it is good. As the 5th best-selling PlayStation 1 game of all time, the numbers don't lie. The gameplay is smoother, faster, and more action-packed than ever, and really set the standard for the series. If you are like me, and are more of a casual Tekken player, then this game is easy enough to pick up and play with ease. But if you are a more hardcore sweaty player, then the more advanced techniques and difficulty will fit your style. No matter how you play the game, Tekken 3 is just a ton of fun. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time for playing through my PlayStation 1 collection number 6.